You know, I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking about truth here. It's real for me. My brother died, frontal lobe dementia. You know, the promoters are responsible for that. And I'm saying to you, well, okay, so we have to protect the fighters. You know, and the biggest and best example of this is Nick Blackwell behind you, Michael Watson sitting down, and you know, the perpetrator of which I've shown Michael my heart. I've shown the public my heart. I'm so
Just stop.
I'm so hurt by this, by what's happened to him. And this is the situation they're putting my son in now. This is, Conor, they're destroying his career if they haven't already destroyed it. You know, so, you mentioned legacy. Legacy. Long-lasting effect of a particular event. That's what it means. Okay? What me and Ben did, there wasn't any bad language. Okay? We didn't get into a fight outside of the ring in the studio. Because we had to be noble. This is a disgrace. And if it isn't a disgrace, which one of you media guys will say, hold on, Chris, I don't think it's a disgrace. Fight me. It's a disgrace. Yes, I said it, and you all need to say it. And you all need to actually make the Boxing Board of Control do their job, and you, the journalists, do your job. We can't run amok. We are not a country of baboons. We are Great Britain. I rest. Do your job.
12 rounds with Conor Benn. Round 1. Sum up Chris Eubank Jr. in 3 words. Straight in the deep end.
Yeah. I mean, I've got 3 words. Idiot, idiot, and idiot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's all you...
It's just an idiot. He's just an idiot. That's all there really is to it, because he thinks he's smart, but he ain't smart, he's an idiot.
Yeah, you pointed that out at the press conference yesterday.
I said it about 4 times as well.
He was...
But the press conference, it just sums him up. It's just, you look at him and it's just, as he said, makes your toes curl, awkward, but he thinks he's being clever.
Bad blood's boiling as Conor Benn lights the fuse, tearing into Chris Eubank Jr. with no filter and even less respect. With Fight Night looming on April 26th, Benn's brutal dismissal isn't just trash talk, it's personal, explosive, and aimed straight at Eubank's ego. And just when you thought the heat couldn't rise any higher, Conor Benn made it crystal clear what this fight really means to him. Yeah, it means more to me than winning a world title. I'd rather flatten Eubank than win a WBC. This isn't about titles or rankings anymore. It's personal. For Benn, beating Chris Eubank Jr. carries more weight than any belt ever could. It's not about climbing the ladder, it's about settling a score. He wants to make a statement, not just in the ring, but in front of the whole world. Flattening Eubank isn't just the goal, it's the obsession. For Conor Benn, this fight isn't just another headline. It's a deep, emotional battle rooted in legacy and pride. The tension doesn't stop at the trash talk, it runs through bloodlines and family history. With every punch thrown on April 26th, Benn's not just fighting for himself, he's fighting for his name. That's what makes this more than a sporting contest.
Because
it's more personal, on a personal level, on a family level.
Is it a family name?
Yeah, on a more personal level. For me, it's like, you're an idiot. And
so to lose this fight would hurt you?
It would hurt, yeah. It definitely, it would hurt. I can't even, I fear losing this more than I love the idea of winning it.
This comment emphasizes just how deeply this fight cuts for Benn. It's not about bragging rights, it's about something far more personal. The fear of losing outweighs the thrill of victory, and that kind of mindset reveals the true stakes. For Benn, defeat would be more than a setback. It would be a wound to his pride, his family, and everything he stands for. And that's the kind of pressure that turns a fight into a war. But Benn isn't just talking, he's putting in serious work. His training is intense, raw, and full of purpose. Every session looks like he's already in the fight, carrying that same fire he speaks with. There's no holding back, just pure aggression and focus.
3, 2, 1. Okay, final one.
His camp training shows a man on a mission, pushing himself past the edge. It's fast, it's violent, and it's personal. Ben isn't just getting fit, he's getting ready to make a statement. Every punch is thrown with bad intentions, every round a message to Eubank. It's clear, he's not training to compete, he's training to destroy. Behind every fighter is a team, and for Conor Benn, head trainer Tony Sims is the man guiding the storm. While Ben brings the fire, Sims brings structure and strategy. From the outside, the training looks relentless, but there's a method behind the madness. It's not just about power, it's about preparation.
We're beginning the camp. Conor always maintains himself in brilliant condition anyway, so it ain't as though I'm bringing in a fighter who's not been in the gym for ages and starting him off. He's already in decent condition, so what we're just doing at the minute for the first couple of weeks out here is we're working on his endurance, just working on the stamina, and then just doing a lot of technical stuff.
2.
This comment gives a glimpse into how dialed in Ben already is. He's not starting from scratch. He's been ready. Sims knows exactly where to push, focusing on endurance and sharpening the technical side early in camp. There's a clear plan, and every session builds on it. Ben isn't just coming in swinging, he's coming in smart, with a team that knows how to get him there. With the camp in full swing, Sims knows just how much this moment means. Not just for Ben, but for everyone who's been in his corner through it all. The wait has been long, the setbacks frustrating, but none of it has been wasted. Every day out of the ring has been spent sharpening the tools, and now it's all coming together.
It's been a long time coming, over 2 years we've waited, so I feel like the date's coming closer and closer to us. But all that time he's been working on different aspects of his game, and I think he's a lot more improved now than he was 12 months ago.
This comment highlights the time and growth behind the scenes. While fans were waiting, Ben was evolving. He's not the same fighter from a year ago. He's stronger, smarter, and more complete. The hunger's always been there, but now the skills have caught up. Sims knows it, Ben knows it, and soon, so will everyone else. With Ben now firing on all cylinders, Sims isn't underestimating what's ahead. He understands exactly how deep this rivalry runs, not just between the fighters, but between two family legacies. This isn't just another big-name clash. It's built on decades of history, pride, and unfinished business, and that makes it even more intense.
You know, it's going to be a tough fight because both Conor and Chris Eubank, like, as we all know, the history of the fathers, there's a lot of pride there between both of them, so you're going to expect them both to come in tremendous condition for the fight.
This comment underlines the emotional weight both men carry into the ring. It's not just about titles or headlines. It's personal for both sides. The history between the Ben and Eubank names guarantees no one will show up half ready. Sims expects war, and he knows both fighters will be in peak condition to settle it. That's what makes this more than a fight. It's a legacy on the line. As the rivalry heats up and the stakes rise, Ben's mindset stays locked in. He's not just reacting to the pressure, he's thriving in it. The routine has shifted, the sessions have leveled up, and the urgency is written all over his face. This isn't just another camp, it's something else entirely.
I've been in camp, I've been training anyway, but yeah, it's definitely like, camp's definitely intensified. Yeah, but we live for this, we're up at 5 AM almost every day.
This comment shows how fully committed Ben is to the moment. The early mornings, the intensity, the sacrifice, it's all part of what he calls living for this. There's no cutting corners, no easing in. Every day is built around pushing limits. It's a lifestyle now, and for Ben, it's all leading to one defining moment. As Ben's preparation hits another gear, it's not just his team feeling the intensity. His promoter, Eddie Hearn, sees it firsthand. From the outside looking in, Hearn knows exactly how much this fight means. He's watched the mindset shift, the focus tighten, and the obsession take over. Ben isn't just training hard, he's locked in with tunnel vision. He stated, "I think Conor's carried a lot of that into training camp. He wants to do a job on him. He really does. And he sleeps, eats, breathes Chris Eubank Jr." This part of the comment captures the raw obsession behind Ben's drive. It's not just preparation, it's personal. Hearn's words reveal just how deep Eubank lives in Benn's mind right now. Every day, every move, every thought is about one man. That kind of focus is rare, and it shows just how badly Ben wants this fight to define him. He stated he'll be ready for what will be a spectacular night at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. From when that first bell goes, he's going to be electric, looking forward to that. Here, Hearn turns from intensity to anticipation. He sees not just a fighter prepared for battle, but a showman ready to steal the spotlight. From the first bell, he expects Ben to explode. Fast, fierce, and fired up. With all eyes on that night, Hearn believes it won't just be a fight, it'll be a moment, and Conor Benn is ready to own it. While the mental focus and fight tactics are front and center, there's another side to Ben's preparation that's just as important, his physical engine. With this bout requiring him to move up in weight, every detail of his body's performance is being tracked and tuned. Strength and conditioning coach Dan Lawrence has taken things to a whole new level. This isn't just about looking fit, it's about performing at maximum output every single day.
With Con now stepping up in weight, we are doing something slightly different, but his weight's great anyway. He's 10, 12 pounds over, exactly where we need to be. But we are putting him in a caloric surplus. Normally we go high and low on each training day, so some days are high, like the sparring days, some days are a little bit lower to tap into the weight. Thankfully, he can now be fueled for every session. We started with doing a comprehensive profile in London, so we did resting metabolic rate plus lots of other tests. So we got this data to know exactly how many calories Conor's burning on a daily basis at rest, and now we use other methods like Whoop and Garmin to see what he's burning with each and every session. We add the two together plus some other things, thermic effective food, so we have a total number of how many calories are going out. We then factor the nutrition into that. Myself and Glenn are working each day in terms of making sure he gets enough fuel in and ensuring that his weight's not coming down too quick.
This comment gives real insight into the science behind Ben's training. From daily calorie tracking to recovery tools like Whoop and Garmin, nothing's being left to chance. Ben's now fueling like a bigger fighter while keeping his speed and explosiveness intact. It's a fine balance, but Lawrence and the team are nailing it. With every stat monitored and every session fueled with purpose, Ben is being built to peak at exactly the right time. Beyond just fueling and conditioning, Ben's team is focused on unlocking every edge possible in performance. As camp moves through different phases, it's not just about grinding harder, it's about training smarter. Strength coach Dan Lawrence is zeroed in on the fine details that make a fighter fire at 100%. It's this kind of tailored approach that sets elite preparation apart.
So we go through different phases in camp, and Conor likes to be neuromuscularly ready for the session. I want him to be ready for the session as well. So we do some priming exercises. They could be power exercises, but they can also be isometric exercises. So overcoming isometrics are where you're applying maximal force against an immovable object. And Conor likes that because it lights his CNS up before he does his heavy lifting. So instead of just going in cold, he prioritises that. And we like doing that in the middle of the week as well because it doesn't mean too much fatigue as well.
This comment shows how specific and technical the training has become. Rather than jumping straight into heavy lifting, Ben goes through priming exercises designed to wake up his nervous system and boost power output. These include isometric movements that activate his body without causing unnecessary fatigue. It's about precision, timing, and keeping him sharp throughout camp. The goal is clear: hit harder, move faster, and stay explosive from start to finish. As the physical side of camp hits peak intensity, the sparring rounds begin to tell their own story. Ben isn't just trading punches, he's testing himself against a range of styles, preparing for anything Eubank might bring. Every round is a puzzle, and he's learning to adapt, adjust, and stay composed. But beyond the technical work, there's something deeper behind those rounds.
Yeah, sparring was alright. I mean, two in, two out. It's always nice because they're completely different styles, shapes and sizes. One was boxing and moving, the other one was come forward, and the other one was very much fight on the inside. So, a couple of angles there. I mean, when I spar, it's not about, hurting people, it's not about knocking them out, it's about working. And the data just goes to show that, I didn't even go in the red zone once in sparring. I didn't realise how much boxing meant to me until it was taken away. So for me, boxing is my life, it's my world, it's who I am, it's not what I do, it's just the man I am. That's how I feel about
about boxing.
This comment shows a fighter who's not just training hard, but fully reconnected with his purpose. The sparring isn't about domination, it's about development. It's about sharpening his tools, staying calm under pressure, and making every round count. But most of all, it's a reminder of what boxing means to him. It's not just a sport or a job, it's who he is. After everything he's been through, Ben isn't just fighting to win, he's fighting because this is home. Long before the hype, before the press conferences and fight posters, Conor Benn already had this moment in his sights. Back in 2016, when he was just making his way into the sport, he spoke about a potential clash with Chris Eubank Jr. It wasn't a call out, it was a vision. Even then, he knew what it could mean, not just for him, but for British boxing history.
We know that your dad has had two very, very famous fights in the 90s with Chris Sr. You're, what, 3 or 4 weight divisions away from Chris Eubank Jr. at the moment, but you are 19 and you will continue to grow and you will continue to put weight on. What chance of you fighting Chris Eubank Jr. at some point in the future?
Oh mate, that'd be legendary. You know, that'd be legendary. I'd love that. I'd love that. You could, you know, but there's so many obstacles I've got to get first before we can even consider that. Yeah. So far, it's just a fantasy for the British public. You know, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
This comment shows how deep this has been brewing in Ben's mind. It wasn't just a fight. He saw it as something legendary, something that could echo through the generations. It was never about chasing clout or headlines. For Ben, this has always been bigger than the belts. The idea of facing Eubank was personal from day one, and now, years later, that vision is finally real. On the other side, Chris Eubank Jr. isn't saying much, but his training is doing all the talking. While Ben pours emotion into every word, Eubank is locked in, sharp, and laser focused. His approach is cold, calculated, and built for war. No back and forth, no distractions, just business. This clip shows a fighter who's been here before, and it's all about precision. Every move, every combo, and every second in the gym is dialed in. Eubank isn't just preparing to fight, he's preparing to dominate. While Ben is fueled by fire, Eubank is ice cold, and that contrast is what makes this clash so dangerous. It's emotion versus execution, and the stakes couldn't be higher. While Eubank's training speaks for itself, there's another voice adding weight to his corner, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. Having spent time as Eubank Jr.'s trainer and mentor, Roy knows exactly what Chris brings to the table. His breakdown of the matchup brings a new layer of insight, cutting through the noise with calm analysis. And it starts with how he sees the odds shaping up. He stated, "I think it's gonna be a very good fight. You know, Conor has punch and power chances. Chris is the bigger guy, so you give Chris the advantage going in because he's the bigger guy." This part of the comment lays out the basic equation: size versus power. Roy respects Ben's knockout threat, but he's honest about the physical edge Eubank carries into the ring. It's not just about strength, it's about frame, reach, and durability. And while Ben brings danger, Roy makes it clear. On paper, the scales tip toward Eubank, but there's more to this fight than just size. He stated, "But Conor does have exceptional punching power, so they're going to be a great fight. I think Chris should win the fight. I think Chris should outbox him, outsmart him, but he will have to be smart early because Conor is a great puncher." Here, Roy adds the warning label. Yes, he believes Chris has the tools to win, but only if he plays it smart from the start. Ben's power is a real threat, especially early when the pace is hot and emotions are high. It's a chess match wrapped in a brawl, and Roy knows one wrong move could flip everything. That's the danger, and that's what makes this fight so compelling. While experts like Roy Jones Jr. analyze from the outside, those inside the gym with Conor Benn see the fire up close. Sparring partner William Skull recently stepped in the ring with Benn and walked away impressed. No cameras, no crowd, just real rounds. What he saw confirmed everything Ben's camp had been preaching: sharpness, speed, and a fighter ready to go. He stated, "I was very impressed. He's a very explosive and fast fighter, and I think he's very ready, and it's going to be a good fight for him." This comment adds even more weight to the buzz coming out of Ben's camp. When someone who's shared the ring with you gives that kind of praise, it means the work is showing. Skull didn't see just flashes of talent. He saw a complete fighter, one who's locked in and lethal. And if sparring is any reflection of fight night, Ben's coming with serious fire. While Ben's camp continues to build momentum, there's still plenty of noise aimed at Chris Eubank Jr., and not just from Conor. Former world champion Billy Joe Saunders, who's shared the ring with Eubank in the past, didn't hold back when asked about his thoughts on him. The rivalry between them runs deep, and Saunders has never been shy with his opinions. What he said added even more fuel to the fire.
I've said it from day one. He will never be world champion.
Is that because you don't like him?
No.
Or is that because you don't think he's got the capability?
I'll tell you the reason why. Simon, because I've been in the ring with him. I know the difference between your David Lemieux, why I can see why they were world champion, your Andy Lees, why they were world champion, even John Ryder. Eubank can fight, but he just can't box.
Right.
That's the problem. He can fight, but he can't box. Eubank is, when we were going back 24, 25, like a wind-up toy, you could get him fit, wind him up, let him go, and he'd go all day.
Yeah.
Now we're at the stage of 33, 34, where you've got to learn to pace yourself, pick your punches, flow around. No disrespect to Liam Smith, but he was no different than a punch bag.
Well, you don't think he's going to win a world title?
He'll never, ever, ever be... I'll tell you what I would do with you, Simon. I'll have a bet with you now, and I'll give you 2-1, and I will pay me bets.
Well, I'm not like Coach as well,
I will pay me bets.
This comment wasn't just a dig, it was a statement loaded with history and personal experience. Saunders knows what it takes to reach the top, and in his eyes, Eubank doesn't have it. His words weren't about hype, they were about belief, or in this case, the lack of it. Coming from a fighter who's beaten Eubank before, the message hits hard. And with the spotlight back on Eubank, it's the kind of doubt that lingers loud. As critics take aim at Chris Eubank Jr., others are doubling down on Conor Benn's power and potential. One of the boldest voices backing him is Barry Hearn, the man who's seen it all in British boxing. While some see Ben as the underdog stepping up, Hearn sees something far more dangerous, and he didn't hesitate to make a strong prediction.
I think it's going to be a massive fight. I think it's arguably one of the biggest fights ever to take place in England. The personalities, the backstory between the dads, everything works to make this humongous. We could have sold 500,000 tickets. I think I'm with Conor Benn on this. I think he's gone through more than enough in his life, which has now been completely exonerated. What a waste of 2 years of a young man's life. He's got a point to prove, but Eubank is the bigger man. So I see it as a 50-50 fight. And I believe that Conor Benn can knock out Eubank Jr.
This comment isn't just confidence, it's conviction. Barry Hearn believes Ben has the tools to end it inside the distance. For someone with decades in the sport, that kind of statement doesn't come lightly. It speaks to the explosiveness Ben has shown in camp and the belief growing around him. When a figure like Hearn backs your punch like that, it shakes the narrative. While Barry Hearn brings the promoter's passion, another respected voice from the world of boxing brings a more technical eye. Veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas has seen countless fighters come and go, and when he speaks, it's always from a place of deep knowledge. Recently, Atlas weighed in on Conor Benn, not just his power, but the way he fights, and he had plenty to say. He stated, "I love Ben's style and his approach. I do. Being aggressive in a responsible way, you know, in a way a fighter should be, with paying attention to, doing it with defense, a responsibility of defense." In this first part, Atlas praises the balance in Ben's game. It's not just wild aggression, it's controlled, measured, and backed with solid fundamentals. He sees a fighter who understands when to press and when to protect, something that separates raw talent from real contenders. Ben's style isn't reckless, it's refined chaos, with discipline behind every move. He stated, and, you know, just proper way to engage somebody, but the consistent offense, looking to, you know, to engage, I think it's an interesting... Here, Atlas highlights what makes Ben exciting to watch. It's the relentless mindset, the drive to keep coming forward, but always with purpose. Ben isn't just throwing punches to be busy, he's thinking, setting traps, and applying smart pressure. It's the kind of fighting style that wins fans, but more importantly, wins big fights. For Atlas to call it interesting is his way of saying, this guy's got something special. When it's all said and done, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn isn't just a fight, it's a collision of pride, legacy, and unfinished family business. One fighter brings cold calculation, experience, and proven toughness. The other comes with fire, hunger, and a relentless drive to make history. It's power versus precision, emotion versus control, new blood versus old guard. Both have something to prove, both have everything to lose. This isn't just about who's better on paper, it's about who shows up on the night with the sharper mind, stronger will, and heavier hands. And no matter how it ends, one thing is guaranteed, this clash will leave a mark. What do you think? Will Conor Benn's aggression and power be too much? Can Chris Eubank Jr.'s experience and composure keep him one step ahead? Who do you believe carries more pressure into the ring? And when the dust settles, who will walk away with the legacy? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more videos like this.